Hello, welcome to another edition, episode 65 of the Are You Ready Wrestling podcast here on Newport City Radio. This week, I'm Luke, and I'm going to kick off the podcast by talking about John Cena versus AJ Styles.
Hi, I'm Curtis, and for my segment this week, I'm talking all our overall thoughts on Crown Jewel.
Hi, I'm Jack. For my segment this week, I will be talking over Seth Rollins finally beating Cody Rhodes.
Seth has finally beaten Cody Rhodes after many attempts of trying to do so, hasn't he? We'll come on to that a little bit later. How are we doing, first and foremost?
Oh, good.
Very tired.
Tired. Very tired.
Good reasons. We always say on this podcast, we're tired because we stay up late, because we're watching the wrestling. The wrestling was a perfect time for us, 1 o'clock in the afternoon, finished at about 4, 5. Perfect. But we weren't there.
We weren't there, no. Nope.
Curtis, where were we yesterday for those listening not in the Newport or South Wales area?
So we was in Newport City Centre, just outside the Kingsway Centre. Not in our building, even though it's just outside the Kingsway Centre. We was in John Frost Square for a brilliant event called Food Festival.
Fantastic event it was.
And me and Jack were on filming duties.
Yes,
we was attempting to DJ, but, you know, it took him about 2 hours to get things working and moving. But, yeah, it was a good event. Lots of filming I've done. Jack was there for a good couple of hours, and then he had to shoot off, and then I was there on my own doing all the filming stuff. So, yeah, but it went well. It was a good event. Brilliant acts. Brilliant day. Very tiring, though, hence why we're tired.
We're all tired. I think we've slept for by 25 hours between, I think, the three of us. So that goes to show how tiring it was.
Those two have slept. I kind of have only slept 7 hours.
But one of us, even whilst in the middle of being absolutely busy and walking around Newport all day, one of us still is winning and winning big.
Yes.
It's not me.
It's not me either.
It's me. It's Jack Cartwright.
Yes, it is.
He is, and still your predictions champion.
And still, I think you got every single one of them right, didn't you?
Yes, I have.
You had Seth to beat Cody.
He's sweet.
You had Stephanie Vaquer to beat Tiffany Stratton.
Yes.
You had... What else did you have?
I had
Rhea and Io to win.
You had Roman to win, but Roman was...
So it wasn't a clean sweep.
So it was only... Well, you got one wrong.
One wrong.
Which was Roman losing.
Yeah.
Which is interesting, to say the least.
It is indeed, but we'll come on to that a little bit later. Should we start off with probably the best match on Crown Jewel?
Talking about someone who we can't see.
He's here with us.
He's here.
He sat in the studio with us. Yeah. He stole Jack's predictions belt.
He's gone. I can't see it.
It's gone.
John Cena, AJ Styles.
What a match.
I mean, for since the start of even like last year when John Cena announced his retirement tour for 2025, people were saying we want to see this match. Arguably one of John Cena's greatest opponents. And that's only considering that AJ Styles joined WWE back in 2016 has been kind of when John Cena was active for 2-3 years. Because obviously now John Cena... I know we've still got some dates left, but obviously
4 dates left.
4 dates left.
It's the end is nigh.
The end is near.
Before this year, obviously John Cena was still part-time and he was here for like a big match now and again, and he wasn't around that often. But AJ Styles, I think, has really cemented himself as one of John Cena's best opponents, and yesterday proved why.
It did.
I think it's fair to say. And what I loved about this match, what I've loved about John Cena's retirement tour throughout all the matches he's had, whether he's been champion, whether he hasn't been champion, heel or babyface, is, yes, we know that he was only limited to, I think it was 40-odd dates throughout the retirement tour.
Yeah.
He couldn't face everyone, but what he did do and has done is he's paid tribute to some of his greatest opponents. Yes, we know he faced Cody Rhodes twice. He's faced Randy Orton on this tour. He's faced Lesnar. He's faced Punk. He's faced, you name it, he's faced them on this tour. Obviously, he can't face everyone, though, can he?
No, unfortunately.
So, what's the next best thing to do when you can't face someone in the ring?
Pay homage to
You use one of their moves and pay homage to them. And also, we know that, some of his great rivals, like Edge, Adam Copeland, is in AEW. So, we won't be seeing that unless your name's Jack Cartwright. We still have that little bit of hope and optimism that we'll see it.
Tiny bit of optimism, yes.
And we will see it. But, yeah, he's paid homage to some of these guys. And I think in this match, he paid tribute to Bray Wyatt, which was a really, really nice telling moment. He used the Sister Abigail, and then the
Fireflies were out.
The Fireflies came out, and the crowd used their phones like they would for Wyatt and the Wyatt 6. He used the Draping DDT.
Did, and the
RKO of Randy Orton, even though he's already faced him on this retirement tour. Again, one of John Cena's historically greatest opponents, even going back to the early 2000s in OVW in Louisville, Kentucky, where they came through the same class of WWE developmental before obviously it was known as NXT, or was called OVW. Skull Crushing Finale, The Miz, again, one of John Cena's kind of great opponents for the last 10 years or so. The Miz and John Cena have so many matches. I believe they faced off in the main event of WrestleMania one year.
They did, yeah. Miz won.
Miz did win.
Miz won.
The choke slam and the tombstone.
Yes.
Obviously, Undertaker and Kane. The Walls of Jericho.
That's a surprising one.
We don't know where Jericho's going to end up. We think his contract's up at some point, Curtis. Could we see Jericho retire Cena? Do we have a double retirement match?
God knows. God knows.
Would you like to see Chris Jericho versus John Cena one final time?
No. I think Jericho's kind of, I don't want to say he's too old, but I don't think he's a fast pace.
354.
I don't think he's
getting past it.
John Cena. I mean, they could do something together.
He's like loud chance of please retire.
But yeah, I think his
run is.
It's like putting a 90-year-old man who hasn't done wrestling ever in a ring against a WWE wrestler.
John Cena also, he attempted a couple of other moves to pay homage to a couple of other people. 619
did.
Rey Mysterio really gutted for Rey. I don't know if there were plans for Rey to face Cena at any point during the retirement tour, but obviously we know that Rey Mysterio got injured just before WrestleMania.
I think also AJ attempted the super kick as well.
Yes.
Sweet chin music, sorry.
Yeah. Pedigree was also attempted as well.
Yes.
I think AJ Styles attempted a couple of moves from TNA wrestlers. So he had the coquina clutch, obviously Samoa Joe. I think he went for, I can't remember what his finisher is called. Christopher Daniels. Obviously, we know him in AEW. He retired last year at the hands of Hangman Adam Page, but I think he attempted his move. I think Frankie Kazarian as well. Just Cena kind of pay homage to some of his great rivals, and Styles paid homage to some of his great rivals from TNA.
It was a very well put together match. I really enjoyed it.
Is that kind of what we expected? Kind of, and these are two guys that have stated one's retiring this year.
Yeah.
AJ Styles said he's probably going to retire next year.
Yeah.
Is this what we expected from this match?
I think it is. Yeah, 100%. Anytime they're both in the ring, it's guaranteed to be magic.
It's kind of like a final send off. I know AJ isn't retiring yet, but it's the last time they're going to be in the ring together. It's kind of their last send off between the two of them from them. So I think it was obviously it was a good match, and I think us three are in kind of agreement. The tagline is "I love letter to wrestling." I think is what we're going to say for that. That's the tagline of the week. Tagline of the week is "A love letter to wrestling."
Can we talk about AJ Styles' entrance for a second, or his introduction to the match? Because we know
that was a nice thing
during Cena's retirement tour. We've seen that he's been called the greatest of all time. The Never Seen 17 to grace insert name of cities for one final time. But John Cena handed a note to Alicia Taylor, the ring announcer.
He did.
And yeah, they mentioned the Bullet Club.
I did.
Is a massive part of AJ Styles' career, obviously in New Japan Pro Wrestling. He was called the King of TNA, which I know AJ Styles has said that he's going to probably retire next year. Do we see him? Obviously, we know WWE's partnership with TNA, and obviously the Showdown event we saw on Tuesday night. Do we see AJ Styles having one final? I know we talked about Styles Cena one final time. Do we see Styles having one last match in TNA?
Yeah, I think so. I think he started that's when AJ Styles became AJ Styles, like as a character, was in TNA.
We probably wouldn't have either TNA or AJ Styles if it wasn't for those two kind of meeting, would we?
Yeah, so I feel like if his last match, probably, maybe not his last match, but possibly, you never know, never say never in wrestling, could be in TNA.
Yeah.
How about this? AJ Styles versus BDE.
Do you want to explain who BDE is for people who might not know?
Okay, so BDE is a YouTuber, a wrestling YouTuber who does content kind of to do with WWE 2K20, the game, 25, all the new ones, does challenges and stuff. If he wins or loses a match, he has to go online and buy the belt. Recently started training a year or so ago with his friends and stuff and his other YouTube partners and stuff that he does stuff with. And now, I believe it's tonight, he appears in TNA for
Bound for Glory. He's in the Gauntlet match.
The first time ever. It's quite interesting because he teased some. I remember him teasing something on Instagram. I've seen he teased something to do with TNA and tagged TNA. And then I think it was like yesterday or the day before they announced that he's going to be part of TNA tonight. So it's going to be interesting to see. I think it's like I think he's one of the very few YouTubers that's started doing training wrestling and appeared. He's kind of like, the easiest way to explain it, he's kind of like the TNA version of IShowSpeed.
Okay.
Is how I'm going to say that. He's kind of like...
Here's a scenario. He wins the Gauntlet match, gets a title contract. He wins the TNA title, and then he can go on to NXT.
Imagine he's in NXT. BDE. We're predicting a career here. So, yeah.
Anyway, John Cena, AJ Styles. Jack, you said his best match of the night.
In my opinion, yes. It was a great homage to a ton of wrestlers, as you say. My favourite was the Bray Wyatt homage, the Sister Abigail, which currently after that he hit it. Cena was seen in tears. Well, his eyes were watering himself. And the Fireflies were out.
They were.
As you say, on their phones. And the other homage I particularly enjoyed was the Randy Orton one.
Ooh, I know we spoke about some of John Cena's great opponents. Who would you say is John Cena's greatest ever opponent? It could be a rivalry, it could be a match, it could be anything. Who was John Cena's greatest rival?
I'm going to have to say Randy Orton.
Okay.
For me. Because they've had so many stellar matches. It's Randy Orton or AJ Styles for me.
Not CM Punk? Not the whole Money in the Bank 2011 angle where Punk legitimately walked out of Chicago with the title and his contract expired?
Well, that was
groundbreaking.
Unfortunately, a few years before I...
and obviously that led to...
was interesting.
That led to and was involved with the pipe bomb as well, which changed wrestling as we know it today. And Curtis, what do you think? You loved at the end of the press conference. Talk to me. What was they chanted? We've mentioned his name already. Say it again.
We have.
I don't think I should be the one to say this because there's someone over in the other corner for the past couple of weeks hasn't shut up about this guy facing John Cena.
Optimism.
He's under contract in another company, right? That WWE aren't really that friendly with.
Aren't really that friendly with? I think it's an understatement, Curtis.
Well, you know. But, yeah. Who are we on about, Jack?
They're on about one Edge.
Interesting.
Adam Copeland.
Interesting.
What were they chanting?
They were chanting, "We want Edge," and they're his theme.
and they started singing
his theme song.
Metalingus.
They
did. Did.
I don't.
On this day,
It's like we got the lead sing with us.
I
Mm.
think.
Do we start an a cappella group and just sing wrestling themes?
Something, Cody Rhodes.
Yes, you could be our lead singer.
Nah.
Hey, we could be up on that stage in 12 months. We
12 months time.
we could have Jack filming us. We on stage singing.
Camera just
Well, and then, rewind it and turn it into a little Bad Boy Chiller Crew track, yeah. Luke's looking at me like, for God's sake, shut up with you. I'm so funny.
Anyway, we are coming 4 dates left of Cena's retirement tour.
yes.
What do we expect to see from these final 4 dates? He's got 2 on Raw, he's got 1 on Survivor Series, and then Saturday night's main event, which is going to be the end.
The end of the road for one
It's the
Mr.
end.
Cena.
The end is nearly nigh.
Which could see a potential president of the United States rock up, because it is in Washington, D.C.
It is.
Yes, Jack.
Yes.
John Cena's got 4 dates left.
He has.
What do we see him doing? Do we see him having matches on Raw? We know that Dominic Mysterio's a name that's been mentioned. Do we see him winning another title only to lose it again? What do we think could happen?
I see him obviously competing against someone at Survivor Series, possibly Dom.
Could he win the
Maybe.
title off Dom and then lose it to someone like Sheamus, maybe?
Possibly. That could be an outcome that
So,
they could go
what
for.
we're saying, Dom, Sheamus, loses the title to Sheamus. Final,
Yeah.
Gunther helps Sheamus to win the title, costs John Cena, which then leads into the final match.
I'm still
being
being optimistic
between-
That
saying Edge,
could
but
work. That could genuinely work. We know the rivalry between Gunther and Sheamus as well.
And then,
yeah.
and then it goes into Gunther retiring John Cena.
It does.
Because you've always said it's going to be Gunther
Yeah,
to retire John Cena. There was there was thoughts before it was going to be Cody to retire him. We
Yeah.
kind of thought, but then it didn't really play out. They did it a lot sooner than we thought. So I think that could work. I think it'll be Dom and John at Survivor Series. John will beat Dom. Then Sheamus will do something. Then it'll be John versus Sheamus. Sheamus will win with help from Gunther because Gunther will cost John, attack John Cena, and then Sheamus wins, completes it, wins the IC title. I believe that's the only belt he needs now, is it?
It is, yeah.
Won
It's the only
IC
belt.
So
We haven't seen Gunther in ages.
and then they're saving it for John. They're saving it for the return.
Since he lost his
been
world
off TV.
title at SummerSlam to Punk.
He's been off TV. Oh.
This is quite funny, right? Talking about the world title. I seen this video, right? And this guy was going around Tesco's. He had to pick 3. You'll understand, right? So
Okay.
he had to go into Tesco's, pick these items up that someone's told him to pick, right? And Drew McIntyre commented saying,
I've seen that. I've seen that, yes.
pick
Yesterday.
a pepperoni pizza, but it has to be the what one is it?
Stuffed crust.
Stuffed crust Chicago Town pizza, right?
Yeah.
So he was late. He missed the time. It took him like 6 minutes to get everything and pay for it and get out the shop. Drew McIntyre commented on that video saying, "I could do a full shop in that time." Someone responded with, "Just like your title run, very short." So someone written onto him for his title run.
Wow.
Oh yeah, Damian Priest cashed in on him last year at WrestleMania, didn't they? So there was a report out saying, I think it was from Dave Meltzer the other day, I could be wrong, saying that there's going to be some kind of tournament to decide Cena's final opponent, but it will end up being Gunther. So
yeah, it's interesting to see how this is going to go with kind of John and him.
what you will.
You know,
something that I'm looking forward to seeing how they pay off next is Seth and Cody. Jack, over to you.
It is, yes. Another match that occurred on the card was Seth Rollins versus Cody Rhodes, the Crown Jewel Ugly Championship.
Oh, you're not a fan?
No, I'm more of a fan of the rings.
All the way from Saudi Arabia.
As I've said, the match, personally, I thought it started off a bit slow, but it picked up towards the end, massively towards the end. My favourite move, I think, of the whole match was the coast to coast.
That looked brutal.
Yeah, the angle they filmed it out was
Felt like a headbutt, didn't it?
Yeah, it was more, his elbow sort of came outwards more. It looked like he sort of hit him in the head, but he didn't, unfortunately. But then the Vision, I think, did they get involved? Or was that
No, I don't think so.
Roman? That was a Roman match. But skip towards the end. Seth finally comes out with a win over Cody Rhodes.
That was kind of the whole narrative around the build of the
Yeah,
match, wasn't it? It's
it
that
was.
Seth's never won, that's frustrating him.
He came out. Seth did come out with all his gear that he wore the past 3 matches they've had together, which was very nice.
Because Seth was Cody's first feud back, wasn't it? Since returning from
WrestleMania
AEW.
38, I think it was. And I'm very pleased that Seth has won. Like I said, Cody's won this accolade before. There was not a need for him to win again. And I'm excited to see what happens next for Seth.
Yes.
What are your guys' thoughts on this?
Curtis?
You've you two.
Curtis or Luke first?
Well, do you know? Should we just both say it at the same time? Because he
Yeah.
just said both of our names. Anyway, Seth finally beats Cody Rhodes. In a way, I'm surprised that Seth won, but then again, I'm not. It's kind of a 50-50 in my head of who should have won, but I went with Seth.
Yeah.
I think the interesting part of all of it was a great match, but it's going to be interesting to see where they both go from here. Does Randy Orton go for the world title against Cody Rhodes? He's been eyeing it up for a good while.
Has a while, yes.
But Cody, I think, is too oblivious to notice.
Yeah,
He hasn't noticed yet, which is
But-
interesting.
it's in the fact that we're now heading towards War Games.
More games, yes.
Or does Cody go in the War Games match for the babyface sides?
See both.
It's a
I see him facing Randy Orton, I do, personally.
I think they'll save Randy for potentially WrestleMania.
yeah. I think that's I think the Randy Cody match is a Mania match in my
Okay.
opinion. I think they put him in the War Games match for the babyface side.
I mean,
Somehow
don't get me
squeeze him
wrong.
in,
That's
yeah.
Survivor Series obviously is one of the traditional big four.
Yeah.
But I just think that we'll see that at WrestleMania.
Yeah, I think the Cody Randy stuff is Mania main event stuff,
Okay.
in my opinion, anyway.
Plus, now that Cody's been involved with Seth Rollins and kind of the Vision,
Yeah, I think
I think that
Yeah.
gives him a legitimate angle into a Survivor Series War Games match.
absolutely.
So my thoughts.
Yes.
No, we don't actually.
Okay,
Mm.
thanks for listening.
Yeah, no
I'll
problem.
see you in no.
See you in 2 weeks' time.
Yes. I'm going to start by, I was watching Ben from Wrestling Republic on Instagram the other
Yeah.
day, and he made a great point that the match outcome was a bit predictable,
Mm.
because if you watched on Monday Night Raw, they kind of said that if Seth lost, the Vision would kind of not be a thing anymore, because he wouldn't be the one on top, and he wouldn't be the dominant one,
Yeah.
and whatever. Are they really... I know Paul Heyman would, and we've seen it before, turn on a drop of a hat, and he doesn't really
Yes.
show loyalty to anyone, if that makes sense. Obviously, he turned to Roman and Punk at WrestleMania.
Mm.
But would they really break up the Vision less than 6 months into it,
I doubt they would.
considering
They
that
wouldn't.
it's
No.
just starting to pick up? So in that way, the match outcome felt a little bit predictable, plus the whole outcome of Cody beating Seth, and Seth not beating Cody at all, and
They stayed backstage in Seth match.
they did.
They did. There was a
Which
segment
is surprising.
before saying
But it was nice to see champion v champion in a
Yeah,
one-on-one
yeah.
wrestling match.
not someone getting involved and obviously it's
Austin someone, yeah.
finish.
Which I think we've seen on Monday Night Raw in weeks gone by. It's been a little bit stale and it's
Yeah.
happened too often. But yeah, I thought that was a great point by Ben of Wrestling Republic, and yeah, I just wonder how they're going to play it from here now that Seth is technically the better champion.
Mhm.
And I suppose that'll be the same for Stephanie Vaquer over on Monday Night Raw. Both winners coming from Monday Night Raw, surprisingly. I thought they would have given one Raw, one SmackDown.
Mm.
Does that mean that Monday Night
Interesting.
Raw is the superior brand? I don't know. We would normally see that at like a Survivor Series, but obviously we see a Crown Jewel. Yeah, I just wonder how they're going to play into it. They're going to kind of show Cody now having some... I know he's a babyface, and babyfaces kind of show some kind of weakness compared to heels.
Yeah.
But are we going to see kind of kinks in the arm, if that makes sense, of Cody Rhodes? Because now he's lost to the other champion. do you know where I'm coming from?
Yeah, I can see.
Does it make him as legitimate as a world champion as it did before? I don't know. I'd like to see them play into it, though.
There's going to be some sort of form of cracks forming him. There might be a figure of doubt coming into his mind where he's like doubting if he's, say, the quarterback.
Yeah.
WWE, as he's said previously.
Randy Orton next. What next for Seth Rollins, and why do I feel War Games looming for Seth? I mean, they've been building to it for the past 6 months. Well, since WrestleMania, really. If we're honest with ourselves,
I seen a leak. Didn't the leak say that Punk is involved somehow?
It's a team of CM Punk, Roman Reigns. Who else was it, Curtis? You sent it. You shared it with us. CM Punk, Roman Reigns,
Should I get it up?
Jey Uso.
Yeah.
One of LA Knight or Jimmy Uso, and
I think Jimmy over
someone else.
So this is what Cultaholic have posted.
This is a quantity announcer. So
current War Games plan will see CM Punk, Roman Reigns, Jacob Fatu, Jey Uso, and either Jimmy Uso or LA Knight versus Seth Rollins, Bron Breakker, Bronson Reed, Austin Theory, and Brock Lesnar.
I mean, Brock makes sense.
Nice.
Yeah,
Brock makes
as much as I'd hate to see it. Brock does make sense because obviously Heyman introduced him at WrestlePalooza, and in say what you want about the current WWE product, but everything does kind of make sense, and they don't do anything for a cheap reaction or a cheap pop. They do things that it might take a couple of weeks. Like, how many podcasts were we sat here this time last year saying, what's CM Punk's favor gonna be from Paul Heyman? What's it gonna be?
What's it gonna be? What's it gonna be? What's it gonna be? What's it gonna be? What's it gonna be? It's that.
I think for about 6 months straight, we were kind of questioning what it's gonna be. So everything they do does have an end result, and I think that's kind of where the end result for this is. I mean, Austin Theory, I think, is the one that
it's the questionable
one. We haven't seen him in a couple of months.
There's no
last time we heard him, he
disappeared off TV. I mean,
there's been no real kind of. Obviously, we knew he was legitimately injured, but after that, there's kind of no, there's no teases for him to return. There's nothing really out there. It's just like all of a sudden he's just disappeared. Is he still on the current roster for WWE?
Yeah, he was injured. He was in a tag team with Grayson Waller, A-Town Down Under.
That split up off TV.
Split up off TV after months of kind of teasing that it was going to end, and he was going to become babyface was Austin Theory, but that never transpired. Obviously, we know that Grayson Waller's off doing stuff for the New Day. We thought he was going to answer Sami Zayn's open challenge on SmackDown. That ended up being Shinsuke Nakamura.
He did.
Using his old theme and old gimmick rather than the face paint and the
quite a lot
of spooky stuff.
Quite a lot of people requested their old themes.
Street Profits the one.
People.
Street Profits the one. Really nice to hear their theme back on Friday. Yes, Styles' his old theme came back a little bit more historic. I think that came back at WrestleMania. Did it not?
Yeah.
So
I think.
But
did Drew McIntyre?
Apparently he's requested his old theme.
He has requested
but I like his new theme out of the current crop of themes. I don't think his is anywhere near the bottom, but I mean, Sheamus makes sense, of course. But yeah, War Games, like I say, Brock Lesnar makes sense. Jacob Fatu, I wonder. Obviously, we've got the Samoan angle, and
he's in a feud with Drew at the moment, I think.
Yeah, and he said he wants once Cody was done with the title with Seth, he wanted a world title shot, which I'd like to see down the line. I mean, let's see that.
They're sort of pushing him a bit more nowadays.
So I'd like to see that. I mean, Fightful did a report and said that when they reached out to WWE with that claim, they said that was one of the options on the table. So it's not far off the mark. But yeah, Austin Theory is the one. He has so much potential. He's the youngest US champion, I think, in history, and he was doing really, really well. And then he was stuck in this tag team with Grayson Waller and didn't really do much with it. But I would like to see him again on his own, which we know he would be after Grayson Waller. Unless he returns on Monday, maybe, or one of the theories potentially was that he was going to help Seth win on Saturday, with obviously the Vision not involved. So he would have made sense. But yeah, just hoping that we have a good War Games, and yeah. Curtis,
What's happening?
what's our thoughts?
Overall thoughts. Oh, there's a lot to break down. We've broke down 3 matches. We've broke down 2 matches. But
That's probably, yeah.
I think the problem with us is, even though we've got certain stuff on our notes, it leads to, random things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hence why we end like down the route of why the UK deserves a WrestleMania, pretty much. I had to get that in there.
It's going to be every
podcast for the next 60 episodes of Crown Jewel. I think overall it was a good event. I really like the stage design. They kind of had a crown as the design.
More creative compared to the usual stage designs that we've seen
like
in WWE.
I think the only creative thing of the WrestlePalooza stage was the ramp, because it was LED.
Yeah.
That was the only really creative thing about it. Whereas yesterday it was the crown and stuff. I think it was another great Australian crowd, which Jack thought was part of Europe.
Yes, my brain
Your
is not
geography
working
off,
today. It is massively off today.
I think John Cena versus AJ Styles, in my opinion, was the match of the card, match of the night. And yeah, I think overall a pretty good event. Another solid one for WWE. But yeah, Luke, what's your chat?
I mean, they prove time and again that when they go overseas to France, obviously, when they go to even Saudi Arabia, I mean, their crowds they seem legitimate wrestling fans rather than fans there because there's something on in Saudi Arabia, or the Saudi Arabia government have like offered them tickets or whatever. They seem like genuine WWE fans.
But then again, the Saudi get it, but the UK doesn't. Jesus.
So I think it just shows that when they do shows outside of North America, crowds are great, and that kind of really, really adds. I mean, look at France.
Do you know what it also shows as well? WWE love money.
I thought you were going to say something else then. Thought you were going to say something else. I genuinely did.
No, but they love money and not coming to the UK.
They do. They do.
Hence why we haven't got a WrestleMania yet. But anyway.
There it is. But, what I liked about it is that Bronson Reed is probably your next big heel main event guy. I mean, you got Bron Breakker, yes, and he's going to be great. But I just think Bronson Reed, he's the first person, I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, obviously he pinned Roman Reigns. I think it's an exclusive list of him and Cody Rhodes who have been able to do it in a one-on-one solo match in 4 or 5 years at this point, maybe even 6. Obviously, Jey Uso pinned him at Money in the Bank in London, a big premium live event in the UK. He stays silent. He's pinned probably the biggest star in WWE at the moment, who's kind of more active. I know we've got John Cena, etc., etc. But he's also pinned Kazuchika Okada in a New Japan Pro Wrestling ring, who is like the John Cena and Roman Reigns of New Japan Pro Wrestling. And he rarely loses. But he got pinned by, I think his name was Jonah back then, obviously after he got released for the first time by WWE. But now he's back in WWE. And he's pinned 2 of the biggest names in their respective companies. He is the next big thing if he's not the big thing already.
They definitely see something in his future if they're allowing him to go over the likes of Roman Reigns.
Yeah, he beat Roman Reigns. I know he was in Australia, his hometown as well. Really nice moment for him.
Yeah.
He was supposed to be there back in 2020, back last year, I think it was, the year before, for Elimination Chamber, but he got injured, I think, and he missed it. But it was just so nice to see him have that moment in front of his home fans and to pin arguably the greatest of this generation in Roman Reigns.
Yes.
Yeah, we haven't even mentioned, before I do mention it, obviously we've mentioned War Games, I think both of them now, that's kind of, that feud has been going on for a couple of weeks, and I think that will obviously come back around now with Seth not being involved with Cody anymore or whatever. I think we'll come back around to Survivor Series and War Games.
Yeah.
What I we haven't mentioned about so far, and I'd love to get Curtis's thoughts on this because this involves one of his, if not his favourite wrestler in Tiffany Stratton. Stephanie Vaquer is the women's Crown Jewel champion. What are your thoughts, Curtis?
Deserved. I mean, between the two of them, they both deserve it equally. Whoever won that match deserved it either way. But I think because Stephanie has just become world champion, they're giving her a big push. They're going to give her a big push. She's just become champion. I believe it was her first match since winning the title.
It was.
Since WrestlePalooza. WrestlePalooza, she won it?
She beat
WrestlePalooza.
So I think it was a good plan. She deserved to win it. I mean, Tiffany's been champion for a good while now. So, it's understandable why they chose Stephanie to win, and I think it's fully deserved. And
it wouldn't hurt Tiffany.
No, it's not going to affect Tiffany in any way.
Still wasn't Nia Jax for the world title.
What an awful time to be alive, Jaron. Then.
Again, every week on the podcast, you were clamoring for Tiffany to cash in, and the one she did,
finally does.
you missed it.
Yeah, that's still a day. That's still a day that I live to regret.
That was quite funny though.
I think I came in like 2 days after on Sunday.
Yeah.
Said, I missed it. I missed the cash in, and you two started you especially, Luke, started wetting yourself.
Oh, it's quite funny. But I just think that again, do they play into kind of Stephanie being the better champion, as you say? She hasn't been champion for that long. And obviously, Naomi, the way she won the world title was a bit, I say, questionable. Obviously, she didn't beat the previous champion because Naomi went off with pregnancy. So do they kind of play into her being the better champion? I don't know. I'd like to see them do it. But yeah, I just think Tiffany Stratton needs to keep that belt. And I think they do need to switch up the rosters a little bit because
we need a draft.
It's getting stale. It's getting very stale.
We need a big draft.
Sooner the better would be the best.
Although SmackDown, I gotta say, was very good this week. That street fight, but the
very
last
good.
man standing between Priest and
that could have easily been on the Crown
Aleister
Jewel
Black.
card.
Yes,
Easily.
They even announced Drew McIntyre against Jacob Fatu for next week on SmackDown, haven't they? So yeah, definitely quite a few big matches that we could have seen.
Definitely something to tune in for.
On this card, Jack, what are your thoughts on Crown Jewel?
Overall, it was a great show. Particularly massively better than last year, in my opinion. The crowd were on fire again. Though, as we were just saying about the Damian Priest match on SmackDown, I would have liked it if they'd moved it to Crown Jewel, just to add that extra oomph they needed. But it was great at grade B. ESPN have come out and said...
I really needed a big, solid premium live events after WrestlePalooza.
Yeah.
The hype and attention about it being the first one on ESPN and all that.
There's improvements there in ESPN, apparently.
Then WrestlePalooza was a little bit of a letdown.
It was a massive letdown.
Yeah, 2 or 3 really solid matches on this card. Or good matches, match of the night contenders, and moving storylines forward, and nice to see Australia. I mean, if you look at the crowd, the majority of them were wearing the John Cena.
Yeah, there was a lot of yellow in the crowd.
John Cena.
It was.
A lot of John Cena.
It was a very story advanced pay-per-view.
John Cena's final ever WWE appearance outside of North America. Got 2 rules. SmackDown, he's got 2 rules left in Boston and New York City on Madison Square Garden.
Yeah.
He's got 1 at San Diego, then he's got his retirement match. That's it for John Cena outside of North America.
That's it.
And he also said that no paycheck or amount of money could get him out of retirement. So
unfortunately.
It's a caveat that we got to remember.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Just talk though, so Saudi Arabia's WrestleMania in next year, unfortunately, Curtis, for you. So
we'll have him announce it. We'll have him announcing the gate.
Probably will.
The attendance.
Probably will. You two are here next week, aren't you?
Yes, we are.
You two.
I think so.
Yes.
Just you two. Looking forward to hearing what you talk about next week. I'm sure it'll be fascinatingly
I'm in the
interesting.
hot seat. I'm in the hot seat next week. For the
You are.
I've swapped sides.
you're going to sit in the
Yes.
blue corner. I'm going to sit in the
Yes.
red middle corner,
Red middle corner.
whatever you want to call it.
Can't wait to hear what you guys are going to talk about. Thank you, Jack.
Thank you.
WrestleMania in the UK, I think.
That's all you're going to say. Just going to say that line for 45 minutes straight.
No, I'm not going to say it for 45 minutes straight, right? Do you know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to come in. I'm going to say, all right. And then I'm going to say, talking about WrestleMania in the UK. And then that'll just be it. And I'll just repeat it for 45 minutes. I won't keep saying it. I'll just go on my computer and just repeat it. And that'll be the podcast. Job's good.
Lovely. Can't wait to hear
I'm
that.
joking. I'm joking.
Yeah.
Thank you, Curtis.
Cheers, mate.
Thank you for listening at home to another edition of the Are You Ready Wrestling podcast. We'll see you next Sunday or next week.